Everybody, look at that. Isn't that pretty? This is my first set of David Bradley's repaired rims with the actual tire on them. I've had these tires for about 4 or 5 years, just waiting for me to find the time to fix the rim. Brian, or Carolina Hawkman, what's wrong with that rim? What are you talking about? I'm glad you asked. Take a look at this. This is a David Bradley rim. And you say, goodness gracious, look at the area. That used to be where the valve stem came out. Am I going to throw this away or use it for something else? No, I'm going to hang on to it. Because believe it or not, that can be fixed. That is the worst one, in the worst shape. But I just want to give you an idea of what they can look like. Yes, I imagine you're already thinking, I bet you it was sitting in the dirt, exposed to moisture, and it rotted out where the valve stem was. And you can see how bad that looks. But you know what? You hit that with those twisted cable heads, sanding heads, or brush heads, wire brush heads, and it'll take the sharpness, the rough areas down to a rounded one. Now, you already know you're going to have to put an inner tube in there, and they make flat pieces of rubber inner tube that lays down first right in here. Then you put your inner tube on it and you run it out the hole in the rim where the valve stem goes. But, you know, Hawkman, look at that. You can't use that. Well, this one was rusted out real bad. The hole was just a little bit smaller than this. Now that should give you an idea how we fixed that right there. This is just a regular washer. Got it at Lowe's. You can see the thickness of it. It is made out of steel. And what we did is I laid it down right there in that cradle where the valve stem comes through. And I used this hammer. A ball peen hammer would be best. I just used a regular hammer and I started tapping it until I finally got it where it sits right in this little recessed cradle area. Then I carried it to Charlie Medlin's boys, Mike and Thomas. And I said, look, I want you to weld one of these on the outside and one of these, the very same thing, on the inside. And Mike said, well, that hole is going to be too small for the valve stem, but what I'll do is I'll get them both to fit, weld them in, and then we'll drill it out for the valve stem to fit. So that's what he did. And then when I went and got it, of course, you could see the weld and all, and he said, now Brian, you're going to have to sand that down or grind it down and probably Bondo it because all in here was pitted real bad. Now I've never messed with Bondo before, and if you can look at this, you can see that is no body man's perfect Bondo job. But this was my worst set of rims. My best ones are back there. So I said to myself, if you can make these look good, you know, you can use these on the tractor you're going to use actually for a garden tractor. So this is the one that you can see over there, that weight, and I showed you, there's the other one over there, that red weight leaning against the side of the trailer will go on here They'll bolt on here and here. And with that added weight, they'll be cleaned up, of course, and put on probably that orange tractor over there. I've got to redo the clutch on it. And that will be my actual garden tractor. But I wanted you to see that, even though you get a rim that looks like that, as long as it's got that edge work, you can get thin but strong pieces of metal, lay up there, tap it down to where it matches, that recessed area, that little cradle area. And see, what you can do is you can go from the inside, inside the rim, and use like a MIG welder and just go ahead and touch it, just spot weld it in places, because it doesn't have to be strong. It's more cosmetic than anything. If you're afraid that these edges might cut your inner tube, you can put that second piece inside the rim, so you've got one on the outside and then one on the inside, and spot weld both of them, and then just drill your hole for your valve stem. Because when you paint it, and if you Bondo a little bit of it and you paint it, you're not going to notice it that much and say, that was a lousy job Bondoing, but it don't look half bad. When you get out and you got it on the tractor, and you've got the weights on it, people aren't going to notice so much. So I just wanted to show you that anything you get from David Bradley, hang on to. Hey, we all know they're not making any more of it. It's like dirt. So I'm going to hang on to this one, see if I can find probably a rectangle thin piece of metal, tap it down, get that fixed, and maybe by then I'll have my own Harbor Freight MIG welder, and I'll try to learn how to do some MIG welding, some flux core welding. But just wanted to share that. Hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.